It does, yeah. Okay. Hi everybody. So welcome to the meeting. Oh, whoops, wrong thing to open up. So today we're basically gonna be learning about views, view controllers, and segues. And segues are how you transition between different views. And so basically, a view, or okay. So I'm gonna, oh, wrong thing. I'm gonna open up Xcode again. We're gonna create a new project, and we're gonna single view application, right? And we're gonna call it views and view controllers or something generic. This is just to like an example. And view controllers. Okay. And all that is good. Make sure you're in the language of Swift. You're going for iPhones. Yeah. Desktop. That's good. Okay. So first I'm gonna go to the main storyboard since that is what shows views. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this inspector, the identity inspector, and I'm just going to turn off size classes. If you don't really have to worry about this right now, it just makes it a little bit easier to show everything. Okay. And so, so here in the main storyboard, as I think I've shown you guys before, you have your view, or like a view of your app. And so it has views, and right here, or the thing that's showing in the storyboard, that's called a view controller. And a view controller basically, it's just some visual representation in your in the thing you're using to program that represents what actually happens in the app. So like and views in an app are basically just they're like pages in the app, and they contain some form of content. So for example, they're analogous to like different pages on a website, I guess you could say. Yeah. All right. So I guess what we're gonna do now is so that's a view. This is the view controller right here. And so the first thing we're gonna do for our example is add a button to it. So I'm gonna add a button. You guys know how to do that, I hope. So you go here. This is where you have different view or elements for your view. And so I'm gonna add a button. You just type it in, search it up, and then you add it to the middle of the view controller, which represents the view. Okay, so here I have a button, right? And I'm gonna change the font by going to the attributes inspector, or not change the font, change the text. And I'm gonna say press me. Okay, good. And I can also do different things like change the font. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. And a way you can resize the button, or the text on the button, is by pressing Command equals, so that it becomes, or the text appropriately fills up the screen. I mean, not the screen, the button. Okay. Yeah, so now we're also gonna change the background color, just to make things a little bit nicer in the example. So, oh, okay. Did nobody want to call?
I just completely forgot for a moment.
Oh, no worries. Okay. So I'm doing something on view controllers, using view controllers, and like segues.
Are you teaching a lesson right now?
Right. I'm recording it so that people can go back and look at it.
Oh, my bad.
That's the point. Yeah. Yeah. No worries. Okay. So we're just gonna change the background color. So if you stay in you want to click on the entire view controller, or the entire view, so that it changes the background color of that. And so yeah, you want to be in, you select that, and you want to be in the attributes inspector, and you'll see right here that there's an attribute called background, and you can change it to whatever you want. It brings up a color wheel. So I'm gonna do this for now, just for the example. Okay. Good. So we have that. Okay, now here's where things get a little bit interesting and different from the things that we've actually done before. So, in this case, you're gonna add a new view, or in this example, you're gonna add a new. So in the app example we're making, you're gonna add a new view, or you're gonna have two views in this application. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna search for a view controller in the list of attributes you can add, or items you can add to the storyboard, and you're gonna drag out a view controller. You're gonna search it up and drag it out. And now this view controller actually represents like a new view in the app. So you can add certain things to it, whatever you want. So in this case, oh yeah, and also if you notice, there's this arrow here. And what this arrow represents is basically the starting point in which the app launches. So if I launch this on this, or run it on the simulator, you can see that the first view that opens up is this one, the one that the arrow is pointing to. Okay. So anyways, on our second view, the new view, we're gonna look for a label, and we're gonna drag that to the center. And we're just gonna make it high. It's just an example for now. Okay, good. So we have the second view controller that has a view that says hi. And okay, so now basically, if you run the app, we created two views, right? But if there's no way of getting to the second view, right? Because if you click on the press me thing, we haven't made the button do anything. We haven't written any code for it. So what we're gonna do now, so we're gonna try to make something that goes to the second view so that we can see the second view. So how we do that is we're gonna click on the button here, and we're gonna control click onto this view controller right here, the one that I'm dragging onto, the second view controller we made. And we're gonna make an action segue. And basically what an action segue is it's a transition between different views. So in this case, I'm gonna create a modal segue, which creates which creates some sort of like transition to transition animation to go to a different view. So for now, I'm gonna use modal, and as you can see, the segue shows up here. So now if I run the app, and it's linked to this button, right? So if I open up, or if I run the app on the simulator, and I press me, it goes to this view, and it pops up vertically. That's how it goes. Nice. Okay. Great. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't really we kind of started a little late today, but we don't have time for the other types of segues. There's something called a push segue, in which basically you create layers of views in your application, and when you by using what's called a navigation controller, and if you press on something or whatever that initiates the segue, you'll have something that kind of lays over. So it's kind of like how in the email app, for example, that you have on your phone, things like lay over each other. Unfortunately, I don't really have a visual representation right now, but I hope that makes sense. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. Okay. So what I'll do now is we don't really have time to do a few other things, but uh-oh, it's trying to connect. And the Wi-Fi's down. Great. Wow, that's great. We'll turn it off and then on. Oh, I need to get the pop-up. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. I've got. Okay, so now, as I think I expressed in the email, we're gonna plan on starting some sort of project for the club that all club members can work together to create. So yeah. Okay, so I guess unfortunately there's only two people here, and they both know about this. But Yeah, I wanted to ask club members which type of app they want to build, whether it be a school organization app like the TVN app that I'm currently working on, in which it has like different it has different buttons which correspond to different like social media sites that they have, and I'm also adding an entertainment feature which if you swipe right you can look at because I designed a segue and a view to go there, or oops. Or if people want to design a simple game, that could be a possibility. Wait, Alan, can you talk about designing a simple game? I'm recording it on the laptop. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, just like.
Oh, this is on the laptop.
Yeah. Or it's recording on the laptop. It's recording the audio and the screen.
All right. So, what do you want me to talk about? That's
Like the sprite kit you're talking about.
Talk about
Oh yeah.
the dominance
Okay, so basically over the summer I made a game. I shipped it to the App Store, and so basically like a tool that can make game building really like simple is an application called Sprite Builder. And so what Sprite Builder does is you can develop your sprites in the application, and then you can import it into like your Xcode like project. So basically that like takes care of a lot of the code connections and stuff you need to like build the app. And yeah.
Nice. And yeah, sprites are basically just little graphical figures that show up in the game. They're like the graphics figures in the game, like characters and stuff. And then the other option, I think was pretty viable was some sort of app that can assist gun students in some way. So for example, I know like about a year ago or so, somebody was trying to create an app that would help new freshmen navigate the school. It would use GPS to like determine your location on the gun campus so that you could easily find your next class or whatever. And now I wanted to open it up. Does anybody have their own app ideas that they would like to talk about? Like, does anybody have an app idea right now? Or no?
Let's make a game.
Okay. I see there's interest in making a game. So, great. Alright, and the last thing I want to talk about is just the work distribution. So, I know a lot of people are less experienced, right? Because I mean, this is probably their first time coding any iOS apps or using Xcode, and that's totally fine. That we designed the club for people like that. And so, what we think less experienced people would do would be to work on UI design and all the things that we've kind of showed in during lessons and just everything we've done in the club, basically. So, dragging out labels, doing constraints. I talked about views a little bit today, but hopefully I think I'll post a supplemental video online about how you would use push segues and a navigation controller. Right, and you can always look on my YouTube channel if you need review and help. I've sent out the link to that in my emails for the club. And then as for the more or like obviously just designing a UI would not be like that wouldn't accomplish getting an app onto the App Store, which is the goal of the project. So we're trying to design a simple app that can be published on the App Store. So obviously UI design isn't the only thing we need. So for people who are more experienced with Xcode or developing iOS applications, we think it would be better to work on, or we think that those people should be able to work on the back end of the app and the functionality. So like actually writing the code, determining what does what, yeah. And so that's basically it for now. Thank you to everybody who attended the meeting. Yeah. Okay, you guys are free to go. Yes.
Maybe try to like incentivize people to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can I do for that?
Be like, here.
Wait, let me turn
I'll
up.
give you guys $5 if you come.
Okay, I got a quick time though. Okay. Okay. iOS meeting 5 desktop.